For a super long time, like 13 years, everyone was asking one big question. What happened to Samurai Jack? You see, this awesome show on Cartoon Network, famous for looking amazing and telling stories with cool fights instead of lots of words, just stopped. It ended in 2004 without a real ending. The hero, a samurai named Jack, was still stuck in the future, a future ruled by the super evil demon Aku. Then, you won't believe it. The show's creator, Genndy Tartakovsky, said he was making a final season. Everyone was so excited to finally get an ending. But the thing is, the ending they got was so amazing and so sad that people still say it's one of the most heartbreaking endings ever. The finale isn't just a bummer, it makes you think about what it means to be a hero, how much you have to give up, and how weird time can be. It turned the show from a great cartoon into a true classic. So to really get why the ending hits so hard, you have to understand how bad things were for Jack. The final season starts 50 years after we last saw him. And it's really strange, but the once brave hero is now a totally broken man. He lost his magic sword, which was the only thing that could hurt Aku. Behind the scenes, he's being haunted by ghosts from his past, like all the people he couldn't save. He even sees a mean, ghost-like version of his old self that just makes fun of him for being stuck. Because of the time travel, he can't get older, which sounds cool, but it really means he's trapped in this awful future forever. This new darker story was a big deal. Jack wasn't just fighting Aku anymore, he was fighting to not give up completely. He needed a new reason to keep going. And that's when someone totally new shows up. Her name is Ashi, and she's a really big part of the story. You see, she's one of the 7 sisters called the Daughters of Aku. They were born from Aku's evil magic and were raised just for one reason, to kill Samurai Jack. So basically, she was made of the same evil stuff that Jack had been fighting his whole life. When she first meets Jack, she's a brutal fighter who has been taught to hate him. But Jack, being the hero he is, keeps saving her life over and over. He starts to show her that the world isn't the evil place Aku told her it was. He shows her kindness and the good people who are suffering because of her father. What's really going on here is we get to see Ashi change completely. Slowly, she starts to see that everything she was taught was a lie. This is shown in a really cool way. Her all-black suit, which is literally made from Aku's darkness, starts to come off, showing her real self underneath. Her whole personality changes and her relationship with Jack goes from enemies to friends to something more. They fall in love. And this isn't just some cheesy love story. It's the heart of the whole season. Ashi gives Jack something he never thought he could have. A future. For the first time, Jack isn't just fighting to fix the past. He's fighting to build a life with the person he loves. This newfound hope is what makes the end of the story so painful. But just when you think things are looking up, the biggest twist happens. It's a real shocker. Aku finds out that Ashi is his actual daughter. With that, he uses his evil power to take control of her body, turning her into a puppet to fight Jack. Jack, who has spent years fighting Aku's monsters, couldn't bring himself to hurt the woman he loves. He's captured, and it feels like all hope is lost again. But in this dark moment, with all his friends from the future fighting a huge battle outside, Jack yells out that he loves Ashi. This one act of love gives Ashi the power to fight back against Aku's control. And you won't believe it, but she realizes she has all of Aku's powers now, including the power to travel through time. She just became the key to winning everything. After that, things happen super fast. It's happy and sad all at once. Ashi rips open a portal and sends them back to the past, right to the moment where Aku first sent Jack to the future. Jack, filled with anger and his love for Ashi, finally destroys Aku for good. The evil future is erased. Jack won. Everyone celebrates. He's back home with his family, and the world is beautiful and safe. He and Ashi are about to get married. It's the perfect happy ending everyone wanted. And then it's all taken away. This really brings up a lot of questions. As Ashi is walking to marry Jack, she starts to fade away. She falls into his arms and explains the terrible truth. Since they killed Aku in the past, the evil future he created never happened. And if that future never existed, then Ashi, who was born in the future from Aku's power, could never have existed either. She's like a ghost from a timeline that got erased. In Jack's arms, the person who saved him and gave him hope disappears forever. You can imagine, people had some big feelings about this. On one hand, many fans and critics thought the ending was brilliant. They said it was a brave, grown-up choice that made the story feel more important. But on the other hand, a lot of people were just plain heartbroken and mad. After watching Jack suffer for so long, they felt like he deserved to finally be happy. To give him love only to snatch it away felt almost too cruel. What's really going on behind the scenes is that the show's creator, Jendy Tartakovsky, always knew it would be a tough ending. He said that Jack's story was never about him finding his own happiness. It was always about his mission and the sacrifices he had to make. For him, the point was for Jack to complete his quest, no matter what it cost him personally. But you won't believe this. The story doesn't totally end there. A few years later, in 2020, they made a video game called Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. The game basically lets you play through the events of the final season. And here's the really wild part. If you play the game and find all the secret collectibles, you unlock a completely different ending. In this secret ending, Ashi doesn't disappear. Because of some complicated time paradox stuff, she's able to survive even though Aku is gone from the past. She gets to stay with Jack, and they get their happy ending after all. For all the fans who were devastated by the show's finale, this felt like the true ending they had been hoping for, a final reward for their hero. This is the core of the show's beautiful, heartbreaking sadness. Jack gets the biggest win possible, but he pays for it with the biggest loss. He saved the entire world, but had to erase the only person who made him feel like he was a part of it. The creators did this on purpose. You see, being a hero isn't about getting a reward. The ending shows that true heroes are the ones willing to give up their own happiness to save everyone else. Victory and loss in this story are two sides of the same coin. The very last scene is quiet, but it says so much. Jack is alone, riding through a peaceful forest. He's sad, but he isn't broken anymore. A little ladybug, which is a symbol for Ashi's kindness, lands on his hand. He watches it for a second, then lets it fly away. He looks out at the beautiful world he saved, and a small, sad smile appears on his face. He's not happy, but he's at peace. He lost the love of his life, but he knows he did the right thing. He'll always have the memory of Ashi, and that memory is what gave him the strength to win. The finale of Samurai Jack is something special. It told a story about how lonely it can be to be a hero, but also how you can find hope in the worst places. By giving Jack a huge win and a huge loss at the same time, the show gave us an ending that sparked a ton of conversation. It's sad for sure, but it's also perfect, because it proves that sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that break your heart, even if there's a secret video game ending waiting to fix it. Jack finally saved the world, but lost the one person who gave his life meaning. Was that really the ending he deserved, or just the one fate forced on him? Like, subscribe, and let us know. Should tragic heroes always walk alone?